Are you looking to grow your stream on Twitch and you're not sure how? In this video right here, we're gonna go over the ins and outs and tips and tricks that every streamer needs to know to grow their channel effectively and efficiently. And we're getting started right now. Hey, it's me, it's Wild coming at you for my stream support playlist where I bring you the best tips and tricks. And if you're new here and you want to learn how to grow and improve your stream, make sure you hit that sub button and tick that bell so you know when my videos go live for you. Let's get real for one moment. If you're streaming on twitch.tv, growing can be extremely tough. There's a lot of great advice out there from other streamers on how to grow your channel effectively, or this is what you need to do to get your first 100 followers. They're all great videos and they help you out a lot, but a lot of them have just basic information that is pretty much standard in anything. In these videos, they give you advice like, talk more. Gee, really? Or they'll say something like, pay attention to the chat. Durr. Or my favorite one, don't stream saturated games. Boy, thank you for that advice. So I wanted to make this video on how to show you how to effectively grow your channel with some simple advice that beginners and pros can use to give their stream a little bit of a boost for them and their community. So let's get started. Tip number one, let's talk about something that a lot of streamers are gonna say. Don't pay attention to the numbers. There's a very strong and valid reason why you shouldn't concentrate on the numbers. Some of them being, if you're putting all of your focus into numbers, you're not really putting your focus and attention into your stream. And your stream's gonna come across is lacking, and there's not going to be as much entertainment value that you could invest into it. And guess what? If you're concentrating on the numbers, you're probably feeling very negative on your own vibe, the fact that it's not going up. It's probably staying at a constant number that's probably below 5. And people are going to see this across your face because you're only concentrating on numbers, and you're not concentrating on the game, the entertainment, or your community. Also, on a side note, don't think of your viewers as numbers. Try to treat your viewers as soon-to-be friends within your community. And hopefully you remember things like, how was their day? Or you talk to them about how was school or how was work, or you remember certain facts about their life, and you show that you have a vested interest in them. They're gonna keep coming back because they have this connection with you. And if you can establish a connection, guess what? You just added a regular to your viewer count that's gonna constantly come back to watch your entertainment. Okay, I'm gonna be a little hypocritical here. I say don't concentrate on the numbers, but guess what? Numbers are important because to somebody like you and to myself, if there's more people chatting or if there's more people watching, guess what? I am having more fun. My energy is more high. I'm having a good time. There's more laughs. So numbers are important. And if the numbers are important to you, there's a lot of great analytic websites out there or tools that'll help you. You really need to take a look at Twitch's analytic page. I'll put a link in the description up here in the card, or I'll put it down below. But there's a lot of other great websites out there that'll show you how to grow or what was being very valued within your channel. Look at certain websites like Social Blade, or you can even look at websites like Twingy. All of these websites out there show you what game was working good for you. What was your highest view count? What was working at a certain hour for you? Who gave you raids and hosts that gave you a bump to a certain section? What time of what day gave you the highest view count? These are all things that work well for you and you can use to your advantage to grow your channel. If you are really into numbers, you need to make the numbers work for you. All of these websites out there show you what parts of your stream were doing well at certain hours or times, or they even show you what games work best for you. For instance, when I paint on Twitch TV and I do black canvases, my viewer count goes exceedingly high because people love how the colors look and how it pops. So I've learned to use that to my advantage whenever I'm gonna be needing a little bit of a boost. I'll paint a black canvas because a lot of people love it, and guess what? I sometimes even sell them. You know what we all have in common on Twitch? We all start at 0. That's right, me, everybody out there, we all start with the almighty 0 out there. But you don't have to if you're smart about it. You know, if you're gonna start streaming, you wanna take in consideration how to start with something above 0 when you hit that stream button. If you already have a following on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Imgur, Reddit, any social platform out there, use it to your advantage and post there and let people know what time you're gonna be streaming. And this will make you have a viewer count that starts above 0, which is great because it gives you high energy right off the bat. Now let's say you have no social impact, no social anything. You don't have a Twitter, you don't have an Instagram, you don't have a YouTube, you don't have a Snapchat, you don't have a Reddit, you don't have a Discord, you have no way of reaching out to anyone out there. That was me. You know what one of the best ways to get around that is? Ask your friends and family to check you out. And you'd be surprised at who's gonna jump into your channel to help you out. Even if they just lurk, getting that extra little baby boost moves you up in the channel rankings and authorities, so somebody doesn't have to scroll as far to find somebody like you. So don't be afraid to reach out to friends and family to help with your viewer count at the beginning of your streaming career. One side note about having friends and family come into your stream, they create awesome icebreakers for any new people that come into your channel because they already know a little bit of information about you. They're not afraid to keep the conversation rolling because it's natural for them. So when somebody else comes in, you know, you can introduce them easily into the stream and have a great conversation between everyone within that community. So icebreaker is a great advantage of having your friends and family in there. If you've already been streaming and you've got a little bit of a viewer bump or already have a little bit of a viewer count, awesome, congratulations. But you've probably noticed that you may have plateaued at certain sections, and it's gonna be constant. Plateauing's a normal thing of streaming. You know the way to get out of plateauing is keeping your chat constantly moving. And to do that, guess what? You have to talk. I can't tell you how many times I go into somebody's channel and I say hello and they say nothing. They're not doing anything in their stream. They're standing there. There's silence. Learn to talk. Talk about anything. Talk about what you're doing in the game. Talk about your day. Talk about what you did. Talk about what you're gonna do tomorrow. Talk about what you did yesterday. Talk about your thoughts about the game. Talk about anything. Just keep the conversation flowing so when somebody comes in there, they're more willing to say hello or maybe comment on something that you said within the game. You have to start the conversation. Somebody will come in there and eventually say hello, but if you don't say anything back or you're not moving within your chat, nothing's gonna happen and they're gonna leave. Now, if somebody does come to your channel and says hello first, guess what you need to do within 30 seconds to a minute? That's right, you need to say something back. People are very fickle on the internet and we have low attention spans. If you don't say anything to their comment within 30 seconds, to a minute, there's a high chance they're already gone and you lost your chance. So make sure you're constantly looking at your chat. You need to do that. Look over there every 30 seconds to a minute. It's very easy. Just kind of gauge your eyes over. Put your chat somewhere where it's easily within your peripheral to check over. There's a lot of people that put their chat way out of their viewpoints and they forget to look at it 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time. And that's one reason why you're not growing. Yeah, you may not have something interesting to say, but you can always say hello back. How was your day? What did you do today? You got any plans for the weekend? Oh, that sounds like fun. I wish I could do that. It's very easy to start a conversation when you just kind of get the snowball ball rolling. Now, getting new viewers to chat is kind of tough. I understand. It may be hard, especially if you're not really an engaging person or it's hard to come out of your shell, or, you know, social conversations aren't your strong point. That's okay. I'm gonna give you a few tips on how to make people come out of their shell or make you come out of your shell so that you can get your conversations rolling really easily within Twitch. Number one is talk about something that you're educated in or you have a passion for. And this can be a lot of different things. It can be anything from video games to gardening to working on a car to engineering. It could be anything. When you have a passion or you're educated about something, people are willing to ask follow-up questions as long as you're engaged with that either particular passion or you're educated in it. One of my favorite things to do when somebody's new into my channel and I like to break the ice with them, I like to ask them what's their favorite 80s movie. And everybody has a favorite something out there, and that's a great icebreaker. Ask somebody what their favorite anime is, or perhaps their favorite movie or TV show. You can find something that everybody is engaged in. Everybody has a favorite comic book or manga or video game. Everybody's interested in boys or girls. You know, there's always something that you can find that's gonna make somebody very engaged and they're gonna jump out of their shell and start a conversation with you. And just keep it naturally going. And you'd be surprised after they answer the question, you can always ask your community, hey, what's your guys' favorite 80s films? And then everybody jumps in the conversation, and before you know it, everybody is talking with everyone. If you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. Don't stream saturated games. What's a saturated game? Technically, anything on the top 10 list of when you browse within Twitch is pretty much oversaturated. Now, it's easy to understand why you wouldn't stream saturated games, but in case you don't know, if you go into a saturated game, let's take for instance Fortnite. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are currently streaming it, and there's so many people with a higher view count than you that most people aren't gonna scroll all the way down to find just you. Yes, there are exceptions to the rules, which I'll explain later in another video of how you can beat how to stream on saturated games, but more often than not, most people aren't gonna find you there. What I recommend is stream anything after the top 10, and you'd be surprised at how high you'll normally rank in anything from like the 11 to top 30 category. There's not as much competition, and those games still either have like a cult following, or they have a lot of people looking for them, or there's a lot of people that want to play with other people currently playing that game. And that's where you find your niche and your bread and butter of how you can grow within Twitch's community. Now you're probably thinking, oh, I like to play saturated games. That's fine, I do too. You know what I like to do? I make 1 or 2 days out of my week for saturated games. I like to play Fortnite, I like to play Call of Duty, but I know people won't watch me or find me in those games. And that's okay, because you know what? Those days are for me. That's for me to unwind and de-stress and play some fun games. And if you tell yourself that, you're not gonna be sad if a lot of people aren't watching or are not playing with you, because those days are for me. So make sure if you stream those games, set the bar for certain expectations of what you expect out of them, so that way, you know, you're not gonna go back down through that bad vibe if people aren't watching you, because that's very hard to stream in those categories. A lot of people out there don't understand why their stream isn't growing, and it's not because you suck at streaming, it's because your lava sucks. Your lighting, your audio, your visuals, your aesthetics. All 4 of these are extremely important when it comes to streaming. Now, I'm not saying your lava has to be the best out there. In fact, no, it just has to be average. Has to be average is the most important thing. A lot of people stream out there with the bare bones, and you'd be surprised, that's probably higher than 75% stream off just basic stuff. If you can invest in a little bit of equipment, you'll be in the top 51% of people that have the best lava. When you get your lava working for you, everything seems to fall into place. When you have decent lighting, it exposes you so your camera doesn't have to work as hard and you don't look as pixelated, and the blacks aren't gonna be as faded. Black will look black, white will look white, and you will look crisp. Your audio, nobody's gonna listen to you if you sound like you're 50,000 miles away on a space expedition to the moon. People wanna hear decent and clean audio. It doesn't have to be the best, it just has to be clean. And nobody wants to hear you breathing into your mic, nobody wants to hear a squirrely voice, and people don't mind if you take your time to enunciate your words, or if you even get over sporadic, just make sure you take your time and talk clearly. Visuals are extremely important because guess what? That's what makes people engaged with your stream. They show up to watch you, but they also show up to watch what game you're playing. And if your stream is pixelated, or it's not coming through, or it's buffering constantly, your computer can't hold up with it, people are only gonna stick in there for so long. So make sure your visuals are nice and clean. And your aesthetics, make sure your channel looks clean. Make sure you have good graphics on top of it. Make sure all of your alerts work for what they need to work for. And make sure your channel that people scroll down through is looking clean and crisp. You know, talk about yourself. Talk about where people can donate to you. Think about all the panels you need to have. All of those things are highly important because that's an extension of you. It's just not the stream boxes there, it's that whole page that represents you. So always remember, lava is important. When you start streaming, think about stream community, not stream team. You know, a lot of people, when I first started streaming out, they were asking constantly how to get on a stream team. And it makes sense. You have all these collaboration of streamers that are trying to grow. If you can get them all in one place that help each other grow, you know, a rising tide lifts all boats. And that's what people think when they get on a stream team, that everybody will help everybody out. Guess what? It's not true. I say do a stream community. find friends on Twitch or whatever streaming platform you're on and create a bond with them and try to help support them in their journey, and in turn, they'll help support you. Yeah, it sounds like a stream team, but guess what? When people are on a stream team, they're not always inclined to help you. But if you can keep it down to a narrow niche of just a few friends, when they're streaming, be in their channel, be active, be part of their community. Guess what? When they're done streaming and you start streaming, they'll most likely host you, because guess what? They share a connection with you. Stream teams, a lot of people don't share a big connection unless they've been a part or they're a founder of that stream team community. So try to find a few friends to help grow your community, and you can help grow theirs. Hopefully I gave you some good insight on how to grow your stream effectively and efficiently on Twitch. You know, we're all looking for growth, but don't let that be the center point of your career. If you're only concerned about growth and you're not achieving it, guess what? You're gonna get very depressed, and I don't want that for you. Streaming, for most of it, should be extremely fun. Yeah, sometimes it's gonna feel like a hustle and a job, because that's what it is at times, but make sure it always is fun at some point for you, because that's what's gonna continue your grind through your Twitch journey. Hey, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a nice thumbs up and leave a comment. And if you did like it, guess what? I got another video that's coming up real soon on how to grow your Twitch channel way beyond what you could think. There's some really cool tips and tricks I've learned on how to grow my viewer count extremely high that I'm gonna share with you that I've seen no one ever talk about on Twitch. So you don't wanna miss that, so make sure you hit that sub button. If you wanna help support me and help me grow, make sure to follow me on Twitch on twitch.tv/wildforgames. And if you wanna follow me on my social media, on Twitter you can follow me, and Instagram. And if you want to help this channel keep growing, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you want to go above and beyond, make sure to follow and support me on my Patreon, so that way I can bring you more high quality content to help you and your channel grow. If you guys like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Take care on the next support stream, coming at you real soon. Peace.